The Empty Chair. Why Kelly Ripa's raw, unscripted goodbye was a masterclass in courage. You know the feeling. It's that quiet, comforting rhythm of your morning, the familiar hum of the television, the steam from your coffee cup, and the face that feels less like a celebrity and more like a friend who's stopped by to chat. For over 2 decades, for millions of us, that face was Kelly Ripa. We've watched icons come and go, of course. Some slip away quietly, their exit a mere footnote. But then there are the moments that stop you in your tracks, the ones that feel so real, so human, they crackle through the screen and right into your heart. That's what happened on a morning that started like any other. Viewers tuned in expecting the usual bright smile, the quick wit, the infectious energy that had become as essential to the AM routine as caffeine. But what they received was a gift far more profound. It wasn't delivered through a polished press release or a slickly produced segment. It came live, in real time, raw and unvarnished. Kelly Ripa was leaving, and she wasn't going to pretend it was easy. No glamour, no act, just tears. This is the story behind that unforgettable farewell. It's a story that goes beyond television news. It's a lesson in change, courage, and the bittersweet beauty of knowing when it's time to write a new chapter. More than a host, the family in your living room. Let's be honest, Kelly Ripa wasn't just a television star. Since 2001, she has been the defining voice of morning TV for a generation. First with the legendary Regis Philbin, then navigating transitions with Michael Strahan, Ryan Seacrest, and finally in a beautiful full-circle moment with her husband, Mark Consuelos. For 23 years, she was the friend who made you laugh before a big meeting, the relatable mom who shared her own family chaos, the woman whose charm and energy felt like a jolt of sunshine. She made the monumental feel intimate. That very connection, the one she built so carefully for 23 years, is what made her goodbye land with such a profound thud. When someone like that steps away, it's not just a show ending. It's the end of an era. It leaves an empty chair where a familiar, comforting presence once sat. The quiet before the storm, the signs we almost missed. Looking back, the clues were there, sprinkled through her final weeks like breadcrumbs. If you paid close attention, you might have noticed them. A more nostalgic story than usual, a quiet pause that held more weight than words, a moment where she let her co-host lead with a soft, almost maternal pride. The rumors were swirling, of course. Was Kelly getting ready to step down? Would she trade the spotlight for a quieter life? But we, the audience, are experts at denial. We didn't want to imagine our mornings without her, so we brushed off the signs, chalking it up to a reflective mood. We never, ever imagined the emotional tsunami that was coming. The morning it all changed. A farewell in real time. On the morning of her final broadcast, the energy at the studio was different. Kelly arrived earlier than usual. Her longtime team noticed a serene calmness about her. She greeted everyone with her signature warmth, but her voice was softer, more measured. She paused at the iconic desk, the very heart of the show, and placed her hand gently on its surface. This wasn't just a piece of furniture. It was a witness to 2 decades of laughter, tears, and genuine human connection. This was her home. Then the cameras rolled. She began to speak, and from the first sentence, her voice trembled, betraying the emotion she was fighting to contain. She thanked the audience, the crew, her co-hosts, and the viewers, the people who had invited her into their homes for over 20 years. Her eyes, those famously expressive eyes, welled with tears. She had to stop, take a breath, and steady herself. The studio erupted in supportive applause, and across the country, viewers found themselves wiping their own eyes, mirroring her emotion. And then she said the 5 words that changed everything. "This is my last show." A collective gasp filled the room. At home, people froze, their coffee cups halfway to their lips. Kelly Ripa leaving? It felt impossible. The real reasons. The private battle behind the public smile. So why? Why walk away from a dream job so many would kill for? The truth is, behind the vibrant, ever-smiling host was a woman engaged in a private, quiet battle. While we saw effortless energy, she was grappling with the very real toll of 2 decades of 4 a.m. alarms. The constant pressure to be on, to be perfect, to deliver sunshine and sparkle day after day is a weight few can comprehend. She had spoken candidly in the past about the exhausting balancing act of being a public figure and a devoted mother, of wanting to give her family the same best she gave to the show. Now, with her children grown and building lives of their own, she felt a powerful, undeniable pull, a call to be present in a new way, not as the busy TV mom rushing out the door, but as a mother available for spontaneous lunches, late-night talks, and quiet, unscheduled weekends. This decision wasn't a rejection of her career. It was an affirmation of her life. Physically, the toll was undeniable. Over 5,000 shows, a lifetime of early mornings, bright lights, and the relentless grind. Burnout isn't just a buzzword, it's a real physical and emotional state. Her decision to leave was a quiet rebellion, a powerful reminder that rest is not a sign of weakness, but a necessity, even for superstars. A partner's hand, a studio's tears, the power of a real moment. As the weight of her announcement hung in the air, all eyes turned to Mark Consuelos. His surprise was genuine. Even as her husband and biggest supporter, this was her moment, her decision to share. And in a gesture that spoke volumes, he reached out and held her hand. Silent, strong, an anchor in her emotional storm, the studio fell into a hushed, shared intimacy, bearing witness to a love that existed far beyond the cameras. What followed was a cascade of raw, unfiltered emotion. The producers rolled a surprise tribute, a montage of Kelly's most brilliant moments, from her early wide-eyed days with Regis to her funniest, most unscripted bloopers. Messages flooded in from former co-hosts like Michael Strahan and Ryan Seacrest, each one celebrating not just her professionalism, but her incredible heart. Celebrity friends and longtime guests shared their love and admiration. And Kelly sat there, with Mark by her side, tears streaming freely down her face. In that moment, she was feeling it all. The profound ache of an ending and the overwhelming gratitude for a journey she could have never imagined. The legacy she leaves. It was always about being real. So what is the legacy of Kelly Ripa? It's not just about ratings or years on air. It's far more profound than that. Kelly Ripa changed the very definition of a morning host. She showed us that you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. She proved that authenticity is the most captivating quality of all. She wasn't just reading a teleprompter, she was sharing her life, her struggles, her joys, her messy, beautiful, real stories with an honesty that made millions of us feel seen, understood, and a little less alone. Her farewell was the ultimate testament to that authenticity. In a world of carefully curated images, she gave us a moment of pure, unscripted humanity. She taught us that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it's brave to choose yourself, and that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is a tearful, grateful goodbye.